Have you ever pondered the origins of your favorite pastime? The world's first game, perhaps? Well, brace yourselves for a journey back in time, a trip to the very roots of entertainment as we know it. Our story begins in the sun-drenched lands of ancient Egypt, around 5,000 years ago. It was here that one of the oldest known games, Senet, was born. Senet, which means passing, was a two-player board game. The board comprised of 30 squares, arranged in 3 rows of 10. Each player had a set of pawns that they moved according to rolls of a dice. The objective? To get all your pawns off the board first. But, Senet was no mere game. It was deeply entwined with the Egyptian belief in the afterlife. The successful navigation of the pawns was seen as a reflection of the soul's journey to eternal life. So in a sense, Senet wasn't just a game, it was a metaphor for life and death. Now let's shift our gaze from the Nile to the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, where around 4,600 years ago, the royal game of was taking shape. This game, like Senet, was a race game and required strategic planning. It was played on a board of 20 squares, with each player possessing 7 pieces. The moves were determined by the roll of a tetrahedral dice. The royal game of was so popular that it spread across the Middle East and even reached the Mediterranean. It became a beloved pastime of the royalty and the common folk alike. The game was more than just a strategic challenge. It was a social bonding tool, a status symbol, and a form of entertainment all rolled into one. The fascinating thing about these games is not just their age, but their complexity and cultural significance. They weren't simply ways to pass the time. They were a reflection of the societies that created them, filled with symbolism and meaning. They were precursors to the games we play today, linking us to our distant past. Who would have thought that our modern love for gaming was kindled in the ancient deserts of Egypt and Mesopotamia? The world's first games, Senet and the royal game of were not just games. They were social instruments, reflections of belief systems, and a form of ancient storytelling. So, the next time you pick up a controller or roll a dice, remember this journey through time. Remember that you're part of a tradition that spans millennia, a tradition of playing, strategizing, and storytelling that began with a simple board and some pawns. Games have come a long way since then, but their essence remains the same. They are a reflection of us, our societies, and our need to be entertained. And isn't that a fascinating thought?